everyone, my name is Montana Houston and this is Montana Houston channel. Let's get right into it. Earlier this week I posted a video about the most well-researched morning productivity routines. And if you didn't hear about this video, you are missing out. Please hit subscribe and hit that bell so that you can get these updates. And this week I am going into my own morning productivity routine and putting some of those ideas into practice. Some of those principles, such as cleaning up, making a schedule, and opting for pen and paper, are what you will see in today's video. The first thing I like to do right after waking up is make my bed. I did a book review for a title of the same name, and as the book title sounds, one of the main principles is about making your bed and how it gives control and we are able to take a sense of accomplishment. So I live that through and through, and it does make me feel better about at least doing something as soon as I wake up, and it only takes a few minutes. Next, I like to schedule my day out, particularly by revisiting my goals. There are two ways I do this. I have a daily planner, and I also have a more broader weekly goals and a reminder on my desk that even charts out my month. All the resources, products, and tools that I use will be in the description in case you want to try them out for yourself. The daily planner that I use gives space to talk about priorities for the day, write down a to-do list, talk about a word that I want to really influence how I feel that day. Also gives me time to reflect on how I did after I schedule out all the tasks, and that just helps me thrive by being able to schedule a chunk of time where I know I will work on something. I have a pink chalkboard that helps me figure out goals for the day, overarching objectives. And before I show you what it looks like now, let me show you what it used to look like. As you can see, it was hyper scheduled. I had everything down to the minute plan, and that was just not sustainable for many reasons. If I wasn't feeling well, or if I had a really super busy day because life, I wasn't able to make sure that I hit any of those goals, and because I didn't hit some of those goals, I just felt really unaccomplished and that I wasted my day, even if I didn't. And in the days that I did try and follow the schedule, I would often go over time on the time that I allotted, and when that happened, I would feel unaccomplished as well, or I had to rush a following task. And that just wasn't the way to look at it. And so this is the approach that I've tried now, where instead of scheduling things down to the minute, feeling like I have a rush day, or because it's so scheduled, just ignoring the whole schedule entirely, now I have broader objectives that I can schedule in my day, plug and play as I need to. And it's much more flexible and made it feel more approachable for me to try and work on some of my longer term goals, like working out or learning a new skill. On here, I also have an inspirational quote, and as you'll get to know about me, if you haven't already noticed through my blog post or on the Ramiah Read One side of the channel, I love quotes, and this quote is very motivational, and that's kind of what I need right in the morning. I also like to jot things down in a less rigid way. What do I mean by that? My chalkboard, even though it is erasable, is such a process. I have to get out a spray, I have to let it sit, I have to get out a magic eraser. It's just too much work. Meanwhile, I have a glass whiteboard where I can just erase it and write, and it's so much easier. Obviously, it's a glass board, so you can use it for anything, whether that's just daily reminders or inspirational quotes, but I like to use this tool to chart out my day, chart out the next day, write down some goals for the week, some goals for the month, etc. And it really helps me to stay focused, and it's something that I can just, again, easily write and rewrite. Like this video if any of these tips are vibing with you so far. The last thing I like to do in the morning is opt for pen and paper. For me, I like to go for a journal, and there are a couple different things that I do in my journal. I found this great product, and I'm not sponsored, but I wish I was, where I can look at positive affirmations and get really great reflection questions. Introspection and reflection is so important to me, and I knew that with these affirmations, I really wanted to think thoughtfully about them. And so luckily I found a product that allowed me to not only have an affirmation for the day, but also think about that affirmation and how it applies to me and how I can really live it through and through. And I found thus far they're always what I need to hear. So on one of my filming days, my affirmation was, I accept my flaws. And the process that I do is I pull out the card from the front of the deck, look in the mirror. I have this cute little Powerpuff Girl compact mirror that I got from Japan, and I look to myself and I say the affirmation 3 times. Then I turn to the back of the card and go through the reflection questions. I don't pull out a card every day because unfortunately there aren't enough every day for the rest of the year unless you want to cycle through them. I value the card so much that I actually look for other affirmations and try and create my own. But I do think that there's so much value in these cards that it's worth doing every day, or maybe investing in a second pack, which I think I'm going to do. Now, here's an honest moment. I do not have a productive morning every morning. And maybe that sounds obvious, but I feel like in a lot of these kind of videos, they are not honest about how it's a struggle and how every day is not the best day. And it's really important that if you are trying to have a productive morning, to give yourself that grace that every morning won't be perfect. And that's what I'm still trying to teach myself, that I'm not going to have a productive morning every day. I'm not going to hit all of my goals every day forever. And it's okay to take time for ourselves, especially if we're not feeling our best, mentally, emotionally, physically. It's really important that we take care of ourselves. And yes, while these are great ways to take care of ourselves, especially the positive affirmations, that is a form of self-care, it's also important that we're really open about what self-care looks like. Maybe self-care is sleeping in for an extra 10 minutes. Maybe self-care is doing nothing that day and just watching shows. Maybe self-care is taking a bath. So just be open to what positive and productive mornings look like for you. And that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you at the next location.